Hello everyone. I think we should be live now. Welcome to the channel. Uh so let me just handle a couple of things here. All right, so as you can see, um I am around. Some of you have asked me for the last few days, where have I been? Because I'm pretty used to the schedule, having a couple of live streams every week. I wanted to make an announcement into the YouTube channel about certain changes which are happening. Well, they are not exactly changes. It's just I am trying to be a little bit more versatile. So the thing it is that the videos are coming back. From the next week moving forward, every week there is going to be a video content. The majority of the videos are going to focus on weekly, so you can expect having your sun, moon, and rising sign in a weekly video to your demand, or in a VOD, video of demand, and watch it whenever you like. You don't have to navigate yourself through timestamps, etc., etc. It's just going to be a simple video. And also, I will do my best to keep up the daily videos rolling as well, which is something I see most of you guys enjoy. And the live streams are going to continue, although if it's not something very, very special, the plan is to have a one live stream a week, because, you know, one can do just so much. So with that said, this is basically the channel update. I'm not going anywhere unless I'm forced to go somewhere. And yeah, that is how things are going to move forward, at least for the foreseeable future. So with that said, let's get back to tonight's topic and tonight's theme, which is going to be, what does the star signs needs to know? What is that information which is lurking behind the corner? It's looming, and it's probably going to make us better prepared for the future. Now, as you can, if you have paid attention to the thumbnail, we do have the Three of Swords with the King of Swords and with the World card being as an elemental dignity, which is another thing about these readings, guys. This is an elemental dignity technique, and the cards are not read a card by card. The whole three of them, they form a collective message. For the purpose of the live stream, because I'm at my parents' place, I don't have the usual lighting as I do have at home. The videos, which, or rather like the cards I chose for tonight's live stream, I chose them when I was at home. Then I tried it here before I go live, and they don't stand very well in front of camera, so I'm gonna use different tarot cards. And the collective reading stands like this. The first card we do have is the Three of Swords. The second card of the collective reading, that is going to be the King of Swords, standing like this. So we do have the King of Swords. And the third card of the collective reading, this is going to be the World card, and the elemental dignity that stands for these three cards is going to be like this, those three cards. So immediately Pisces Moonbeam asked me, what are those cards really mean? I mean, they look really scary. Not exactly scary, it is just, for the most of us, those cards would mean that we are gonna be harped about. Just to make myself clear what I do mean under harping, it is that we are going to be constantly brought to a topic with an attempt thy mind to be changed. It's no different than when we say, no, I don't want to do it, and that topic is constantly brought to us until we finally decide that we are going to do it nonetheless, just so the other person kind of like shut up or move on to the next thing. Of course, I don't think that we all should cave under it. In fact, this is nothing less but an emotional manipulation that is going to be directed straight toward us. And instead of right away caving under this harping, which is going to be directed to us, as the King of Swords here suggests, there is going to be a common ground for all of us, the parties which are involved into this conviction. And through careful analysis, like I said, a common ground could be really found in between us and those which are, or the way out of the difficulties of mismatching, of a lack of what was the word here? Compatibility. So the lack of compatibility can be cleared up. Now, the bottom line from this elemental dignity here, which is the Three of Swords and the King of Swords, it needs to have a purpose. What I mean is that someone wants to, for example, do business with us, and we are not convinced that we should do business with them, right? And we say, you know what, I'm going to think about it, but that person doesn't leaves us alone. They are constantly coming to our door, calling to us, you know, did you made up your mind? We are going to win so much, and so on and so forth. But we are not convinced into it yet. But the harp continues. So the standpoint, or rather like the focal point of our decision should be, do we gain something? That is how the King of Swords really works. I am with you because I have use of you, as you have use of me as well. That is the whole purpose of King of Swords having you into their life, whether it is a monetary gain of a reason, whether it is a stability of a gain of a reason, and so on and so forth. King of Swords isn't there to make people happy, he is there to make life useful to them and to others as well. It's very often King of Swords kind of like mistaken for the Queen of Swords, which does things just because, you know, she can, right? She's gonna stumble you just because she can, just because you are on her way, while the King of Swords is gonna think very carefully what consequences this is gonna bring to him, and is it really worth it? Is there any usefulness of that crushing you down if that's what he can do, or cooperating with you? So it's a very reasonable environment which we can reach to, but again, we should not cave under pressure. And so what the harp is going to be like, well, it's one of these psychological situations where we are going to be constantly, or rather like constantly is going to be shoved into our face what we are going to lose and how we are going to fail if we do not do that cooperation. And the biggest emotional manipulation from it is going to come that, you know, if it is with romantic incentive, that this person will say something like, if you aren't mine, you are going to be none others, or you ain't gonna find love better than mine, you know, and it's going to be a convincing standpoint. So there will be some fear kind of like attached to the whole thing. And the situation is not going to go away on its own accord. That is into the next elemental dignity that we do have, which is here in between the Three of Swords and the World card. That means that pretty much it's not going to go on its own accord. We have to kind of like reach to a reasonable solution with that person or with that organization. So this is the collective message for all of us. And before I move forward, I'd like to say, Karen, thank you so much for your $6.63 US a support, which is one for me. Unfortunately, I don't have Lenormand cards with me today. I just forgot to bring them here. So I will have to do myself a tarot reading, and one for Pisces Moonbeam as well. Thank you, Karen. Let me put both of us into the list, and as well, Liz. Thank you so much for your. Oh, and I have one for Karen, which is from a Pisces Moonbeam. Thank you, Pisces Moonbeam. And also one super chat from a Liz. Thank you, Liz. Tonight, Lenormand is going to be not possible to be used as a super chat, so all of you guys are gonna get a tarot reading. And yeah, so moving forward, just to explain you guys how things are gonna work out with the live stream. Anna and Mattia, thank you so much, guys. Welcome to the stream. Mattia, thank you so much for your $9.99 US dollars. Thank you, Mattia. Just make sure that you all stick around up until the end, where you're gonna get your personalized reading for what is that you need to know of this moment. So there are going to be 12 readings within this live stream. All of them are going to be performed under the technique of the elemental dignities. And I'm gonna start with Aries. I'm gonna end up with Pisces. However, in between these readings, there are gonna be a free readings giveaway. 3 of you guys are gonna get a free reading here live in this live stream. All that you gotta do in order to participate into the free reading contest is just stick around up until I do announce a break. A spoiler alert here: one is going to be after Cancer, the second is going to be after Scorpio, and the last one is going to be at the end of the live stream right after Pisces. And in these breaks, all you gotta do is just input a question that you want to be read through tarot, and I'm going to pick one of these questions and I'm going to perform a professional reading on the question itself. And of course, anyone who supports the channel, the stream, me, through Super Chat, and Pisces Moonbeam as well through Super Chat, you guys are going to get a reading at the end. That's given. Anna, thank you so much for your $20 US support. Thank you, Anna. As always, make sure you stick around up until the end, where you're going to get your personalized reading for what is that you need to know. All right, so let me shuffle the cards and kind of see what Aries are gonna have to go through, or what is the message rather for Aries. Hey, Charlie, welcome to the stream, man. Well, Karen, in regards to that statement you made about the love reading, it's already sealed. Okay, so it's there, it's bound to happen because it was a Lenormand one. I don't have much of a choice. Did it happen? Maybe. Hey, Ella, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Long time no see. All right, so going for Aries first, the first card for you, Aries, is going to be the Eight of Swords, catalyzed from one side by the High Priestess here. That's the High Priestess, right? I'm not very familiar with those cards, third time or fourth time using them. So we do have the High Priestess as the second card, and the last one that is going to be the Eight of Cups, for what it seems. Those 3 cards, guys. Oh my god, it's so inconvenient here with the mic I'm having. So those 3 cards. Right, so getting to your message, Aries, it's very important, guys, to kind of like understand what can and what cannot be accomplished. I mean, with these three cards, there is a some sort of a false sense of understanding over the situation you're finding yourself into. And if you find yourself confused and like with having your hands bond in behind your back, unable to do anything to influence the situation, whether into your work or whether into your love life, this is a false sense of helplessness. In fact, having all these three cards here, those three cards again, let me show them to you. Having those three cards here, they are giving you so much freedom. That is because the elemental dignities are a neutral elemental dignities, and in fact they are showing that whatever limitations you kind of like feel that you do have in front of you, limitation to find love or limitations to get a better job, you know, limitation just to feel good, they are because you chose to have a limitation. And I'm sorry saying it, you know, many of you may not believe it, but it's what the cards show here. And that's that decision actually comes from both of these elemental dignities. So the elemental dignity of the Eight of Swords and the High Priestess here, it does represent a outdated belief into outdated realities, arguments, beliefs. And so you definitely have to kind of like sober up, you know, and make crucial analysis over the current situation and not what was a couple of days ago. Just to give you an example, you may have had a huge fight with the person you love, and a couple of days ago things may have looked like, you know, you are on the brink of breaking up, and you may think that that is still the case, but guess what? Probably it isn't. Probably that person just moved on, and they almost forgot about the argument, and they're waiting you to call them, not for apologizing, but to just say that you missed them, right? So this inability to kind of like manifest the love in that particular situation happens to be because you chose to be that way. My point is that the limits or the limitations you are going to feel in the next couple of days, in the next couple of weeks, for the most part, are because you feed them. And so what is literally needed here, guys, is just to move past things. Okay, just how can I put it into words? It's not even about forgiveness. It's accepting that some things just happen, shits just happen, right? And you can't live constantly reliving the whole thing again and being bound by its manifestation, but instead just focus on the future, or what can future bring to you if you try to reprimand situations, or even if you try to move on from situations. Either way, it's just movement is required. And once you do adopt that standpoint, once you do adopt this mindset of yours, that you definitely can, you will see that you can accomplish quite a lot. In fact, when the Eight of Swords unfolds, that is when person understands that they're far more capable than they think they are. They can handle way too more, or rather like way bigger jobs. They can handle way more demanding people. They can handle way more responsibilities, and more sophisticated responsibilities as well. So Aries, I suggest you stop pitying yourself and get back on your feet and just, you know, move forward. That's all that those cards here are showing. Inactivity, it's not gonna help you. What I mean is that kind of like going hoping that the muddy water is gonna settle on its own and is gonna clear out on its own. That's not what happens here. I mean, your initiation is going to be required. So that was the Aries message. Now moving next, we do have Taurus. New adventures, Anna. That sounds a bit scary. All right, Taurus, first one for you, we have the Nine of Swords. Moving on next, as an elemental dignity, that is going to be the Lover's card as the second one. And the third card for you, Taurus, we do have the Star, right? So the third one for you, that is going to be the Star card. Those three. So we do have a active friends, active supporters, elemental dignities in that particular spread. And Taurus are gonna have a quite of a good time moving forward. So what happens for Taurus and what do you need to know, guys? It is that things in your life are gonna become way less scarier than you find them at that particular point. And another thing it is that a severe consequences that you may think you are going to suffer from whatever actions you are about to do, whether you are about to divorce your wife or a husband, whether you are about to quit your job and you think, oh my God, that is going to be such of a coup de grace, right? A crushing blow to my economy, to my income, to my personal life, and so on and so forth. Once you make the move, you will see that it isn't actually that bad. And in fact, you are about to see that that gives you bigger freedom. It makes you way more harmonious. So in one way or another for you, Taurus, this what you need to know is that whatever strive you have right now, it's the right strive, it's the right path forward, it is the true challenge for what I can say. And should things be about you deciding what to do from now on, because that could be very well the case here with those couple of cards, the Nine of Swords and the Lovers card sitting, because the Lovers, guys, the Lovers was not always the name of the card. In the past, the card was called the Choice. You need to know that there is no right or wrong choice here in that particular situation. And in fact, what the guidance of the cards is that you have to pick the one that it is more fearsome than the other. All right. So the choice that you are more afraid of, that's the one that you should pick, if not for anything else, but to conquer the fears that you do have petrifying you, if I may put it that way. But the Lovers and the Nine of Swords, it's that elemental dignity showing that the more, how can I put it into words? So that is when you dare do things, right? You dare make certain steps that you didn't dare do before, and you see that that is actually the right thing to do. You do see that this is what makes you being more and more harmonious with your environment, and not just only that, but it makes you as well see that problems you had up until this point there just start resolving themselves pretty much on their own accord. And the other elemental dignity here, Nine of Swords and the Star card, it pretty much shows that whatever turmoil you do had in your life that you were afraid is gonna last forever, it is coming to an end. Pretty much it is coming to an end very, very soon. You are gonna see that the future, it's much, much brighter than you thought it is. And also you will see a field forward, like a focal point in the future that you will have no obstacles reaching. It will take a little bit of a time, but you are gonna get there. So whatever you are chasing or wherever your life is DOA at, right? Maybe you are in a pretty bad shape when it comes to your work or job or career. Maybe you're in a pretty bad shape when it comes to your love life. Well, wherever that bad shape is, this is exactly where improvement is gonna settle under the elemental dignity of the Star card and Nine of Swords being there, and it's not gonna be as scary as you may think that it's gonna be. So that's pretty much your message, Taurus. And moving next, we do have Gemini. All right, first one for Gemini, that is going to be Temperance here, followed by the second card, which is the Three of Pentacles. And the final card for you, Gemini, of tonight's reading, that is going to be the Two of Cups, having it here. So this is how the elemental dignity stands, like that. And it's a bit of a tougher message than usual. Let me take a swing first with my coffee. So what these cards are showing for you, Gemini, it is that you just can't get through to a person, okay? Having the Temperance in the Two of Cups, these two, they do form a active enemies, and it kind of shows that no matter what you do, you just can't find your way, at least with the current aspects of whatever the interaction has. I don't know how to explain it, but it is just, there is something missing out there, okay? And no matter what you do, you are never gonna have the right approach. It is because you just can't fathom what the right approach is at this particular point. So pretty much the message here is that if you are trying to get on the same page with someone, it's just a waste of your breath, and it is waste of your efforts, waste of your cooperative skills, waste of your support. That's all that we do have here within those couple of cards. However, there is a point of salvaging that we do have here, and it's just because right now things cannot get smooth in between you and your supervisor or your boss, or I don't know, your person of interest, whatever that person of interest is. That doesn't mean that, you know, things can never get that way. In fact, it will be very important in the next few days to a couple of weeks to maintain mutual respect. This is the only thing that is gonna kind of like keep you bonded, so to speak, and will allow you to carry on with the interaction after these energies clear out, because these are a temporary energies. This doesn't mean that you won't be able to get on the same page for like forever. It is just for the next few days. So instead of trying to get through to people or to someone, it will be best if you turn your attention and your efforts toward your personal endeavors and toward your personal enterprises, where you definitely are going to find a way through. So if you are trying, for example, to establish a business, or to make use of a hobby, or just to enjoy yourself with life, you definitely are going to find the right way to do it, the right way to manifest your hobby, skills, knowledge, to have fun, to enjoy yourself, and just to do whatever you like. And if you are capable to maintain the respect in between you and the other person that you cannot get to the same page with, at least for the next few days, these cards are showing that regardless that there will be no common ground. Like I said, the respect is going to be there, but also the respect is going to bring solidarity and compassion. It's just, you don't have to agree right now. You can agree to disagree, but that doesn't mean that you can't be friends, good co-workers, lovers, who knows. Okay, so it's just because, like I said, it's just because there is a lack of synchrony at this moment. It doesn't mean that this lack of synchrony has to be the final nail in the coffin. So that was for Gemini, and now next one we have Cancer. All right, so for Cancer, first one, that will be the Six of Swords, followed on with the second card for you, which is the Six of Wands. And the third card for you, Cancer, that is going to be the Lovers. It's a major message for you that we do have, okay? So I don't know, this is the elemental dignity here. So there is something coming down, and you know it is coming down. It's just it's a bit unavoidable. You find yourself being afraid of it. If you want to capitalize on it, I mean the moment is like now, right now, in the next few days. So it's a big message because it seems that you are to be invited to reap what you sow, and the reaping or the fruits of your labor are terrifying you. Not because they are bad, but because what if they are not long lasting, right? What if I lose them? So what if you are invited into that position you always wanted, right? And you lose it 3 months from now? That would be the crushing, would be devastating. What if you are invited, rather, like, to start a relationship with a person you are falling for, and you lose that person 3 months from now, or 4 months from now, or a couple of years from now? Devastating. So that is that is going to be the incentive. Now these cards are showing that they are not showing that you're going to lose anything. Of course, that is to be decided from your actions and, you know, from your decisions further down the road. What these cards are pointing here, it is that you gotta reap what you sow, because you do deserve it, because this is the rewards of your endurance. Let's put it that way. These are the rewards of your endurance and your setup that you made up until this point. However, because of this elemental dignity here, six of swords and the Lover's card, okay, the choice is totally yours. And the message of these two cards, it is that whether you decide to make it work or not, it's gonna be fine. I mean, either way is going to work for you. It's just they show that there is no wrong or right choice, okay? But you gotta make your choice, because right now it seems that you haven't, and that is what kind of like puts you in a lack of progress into that field. And when I say that you gotta make your choice, I mean ultimately to make your choice. What this really means? Well, it means that, say that you have a affinity for a particular job, but you don't feel yourself ready. Well, I have a message for you. You are never gonna feel yourself ready, whether you are ready or not. And you gotta make up your mind, are you gonna even try it out, or just leave it for good? That's what those couple of cards are showing. Same thing comes when, if you are interacting with someone that you have feelings for, let's say, but you're not sure can you handle a relationship. You're never going to be sure can you handle a relationship with that person. You can never be sure enough, is that person going to be faithful or not, but you got to make up your mind for good. Is that person going to be a part of your life as part they deserve, or they're not going to be a part of your life at all? Of course, you can decide not to decide, but this is not going to improve anything. It just is going to keep you in that same miserable state. So wherever you are in a miserable state, that is where you have to make up your mind, because the fruits of your labor are there to be reaped. It's just you have to gather up the courage to reap them. It's just close your eyes and make that step toward the unknown, because you can never be sure enough, is it going to work out or not, unless you try it out. And according to these cards, you will handle it very well, at least for the start of it. Your synchrony with the whole enterprise is going to be unmatched. Like I said, at least for the start of it. For later on, who knows? Right, so that concludes Cancer, and now we are entering into the first break of the live stream. One of you guys is gonna get a free reading into that break. All that you gotta do to get that free reading is just input a question into the comments down below, and in about 5 minutes I'm going to pick one of your questions and I'm going to perform a professional tarot reading on that very same question. Mattia, as far as mosquito goes, I am like a magnet to mosquitoes. They are raiding me every single time when they are pretty much around. And I am using pesticide to kill them, right? At least in my place, I am using a brand that it is very good into kind of like neutralizing mosquitoes. Even if your window is open, they just don't get in. Yeah, and to that comment, it's something I said a couple of streams ago. It is that when you lose your relationship, you can always end up in another. You know, when you lose love, you can always find love. When you lose money, you can always make money. When you lose your time, it's a waste of time. You can't make it up. It's just, it's gone. That's that. Okay. So the only thing in our world, in our life, what we should be mindful about, at least in my opinion, that's the time we have. Because there is another thing which is a bit sad, but tomorrow is promised to no one. No matter how happy you are, no matter how much money you have, accidents happen. Tomorrow it's promised to no one, and for that we should kind of like enjoy every single second we have under the sun. Don't you have it in the United States? It's a liquid pesticide. You put it into your socket, electric socket, and it vapes. It's a pesticide that, at least what they advertise it, that it is harmless for humans, but it kills mosquitoes. And not just only mosquitoes, butterflies, moths, all kind of insects. Hello, Ginger. I'm sorry to hear that. You are not in a peaceful place, I guess, by the way of looking into your message. But you know what? Sometimes life stirs the situation around us, so we can have a better prospect into the future. It did it to me a few times, you know. Or it literally felt like the universe. It literally felt like the Tower card in Tarot, where the universe kind of like watches you down, you're doing nothing with your life, and says, you know what, I'm gonna put some embers under your heels. And when it does, it's for a reason. Like it's sitting there saying, come on, move, damn it, you know. And yeah, it's just we gotta move, we gotta make something, we gotta do something. I don't know about cinnamon sticks. I prefer the proven method. Oh, it will get better for Ginger and for all of us, because things cannot stay the same way always. All right, so only one question is submitted. Anna Chaban, is it okay to go big in business with more risk, or starting from the very bottom of it, making much longer, or kind of like taking much longer and acquiring more license? Let's check it out, Anna. Hey JT, welcome to the stream. Well, look, Anna, to such questions, I don't like to make choices for the people asking them. Those are the cards if you go big, Queen of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. These are the cards if you start from the bottom of it. Eight of Cups, Six of Cups. If you right now try to go big, you are never going to be able to go as big as you can. That's pretty much what those cards are showing. If you start from the very bottom of it, the whole thing is going to be more pleasant than stressful. So this business, it will turn out more like a hobby than anything else. And I do believe that at least for the very first year, you wouldn't care how big the business truly is, okay? Because it's just is gonna be pleasurable. It's gonna be something you would look forward to do and to work. And also going from the bottom of it, which is a no-brainer. That's something that doesn't, you don't need a tarot reader to tell you, but the alignment of these cards are showing that way you will see what you are good at and what you aren't that good at, and so you will be able to vet, or rather like select carefully what services to provide that you are not going to be ashamed of if you perform poorly, because you aren't going to perform poorly into the services you choose. So like I said, I don't like to make choices, but if I were in your shoes, I would have started from the bottom of it. and that is your reading. What do you mean, Pisces Moonbeam, that you do want one of those either or readings? What does that even mean? JT, thank you so much for your 19.99 US dollars. Thank you, JT. Make sure you stick around up until the end, where you're gonna get your personalized reading. Or what do you need to know as of this moment? All right, a couple of minutes, guys, and I'm gonna move to the next 4 star signs. I get it. You want me to be biased about your reading, or that ain't happening. You know that. I remember one of the first readings you asked me to do for you, Pisces Moonbeam. I remember when you asked how you can do something, and it's one of the rare cases, but the reading actually showed how you can do it. And you say, I'm never gonna do that. I can't do it. Well, cards doesn't care, right? They are not concerned with are you willing or not. Your question was how. They showed you how. Are you gonna do it or not? Well, that depends entirely on you. So my point is that you don't control what message you're gonna have. So you get what you get, whether you like it or not. It's your problem, not mine. Well, the thing about me and the readings, it is that I prefer to focus on, what you can accomplish and how far your potential can go, rather than telling you what exactly is going to happen. Because if I tell you what exactly is going to happen, that way I make decisions for you, and that is unethical. The only way that I'm going to tell you what exactly is going to happen, it's if I draw Lenormand cards, which are meant to tell you that. With tarot, it's pure speculation. Oh, that was a long time ago. I don't even remember what the question was. It does, eh? Yeah. Well, like I said many times, Lenormand cards, they're not something you play around with. They're walk in the park. If you are to make the draw, you better be sure that you can handle what it is going to come, because anything can come out of these cards. If you have a specific expectation, that's better not draw Lenormand. Leo, first card for you guys, we do have the Strength card, followed by the second card of your spread, which is the King of Cups. And the final one for you, that is going to be the Knight of Swords. So we do have these 3 cards as an elemental dignity, okay? And they stand as active enemies and active friends. That's it's such a bullshit that it is coming your way. It is just, think it that way, Leo, the most inappropriate offer is coming your way. That is no different than you having a really nice life with your family. You know, you are loved and you love your husband or a wife. You do have children, and suddenly something comes out with an expectation that you are gonna throw everything away, throw it out of the window, and you are gonna run to the sunset with them. It's that ridiculous of an offer it is that you are gonna get. Or you have a really flourishing business right now, you're making a lot of money, you love what you do, and suddenly someone shows up and tells you that you should throw everything away and start from scratch with them, with no guarantees, nothing aside of it. So it will kind of like, it will be a preposterous um, offer that it is coming your way. And what you need to know is that it's not worth even considering. Okay, it will be very beguiling because the person that shows up, it will sound very professional on the surface, at least. It will sound that they very well know what they're talking about. It will sound like, they can offer you everything you have ever wanted. Well, you do have what you have wanted in that particular regard, maybe not in the entirety of your life, but at least in that regard. And so what those cards pretty much are showing is that you have to endure through strength, or rather like endure through patience, which is, I believe, called perseverance, isn't it? Or perseverance, whichever the case. So yeah, you have to persevere through that temptation. And all that it takes to do that is to think logically, not allow your passion or your emotions to twist and tangle through you, because that way you may find yourself doubting your, how can I put it into words, your sanity in that particular case. But if you address the situation logically and say, you know what, wait a minute, let's do the pros and the cons, all right? Let's approach the matter intelligently. You will see that what's that person which approached you with the offer comes with, it doesn't even come close to compensate you for what you have at this very moment. And the choice is pretty obvious, isn't it? Aside from that, what you can expect if you keep up with the choices you have already made rather than changing your mind in the very last minute because someone comes with a tempting offer to you, is that you can expect to be involved into quite of a, I would say, enthusiastic and passionate enterprise, or even a challenge. And when I say challenge, I mean it in the good way, where through challenge you do feel like you are improving and you are growing. And finally, when that challenge truly is conquered, you will feel very good. Like, imagine it when you go to the gym and you do a really challenging workout, but after the workout is over, you feel really good that you pushed through it, and now kind of like your muscles are building up. And that is your message here, Leo. Don't cave under the sweet talks you are gonna be fed with from someone that sounds very convincing, but that is just only on the surface. From beneath, they have literally nothing to offer to you. Because again, you have nothing to gain and everything to lose in the situation. Right, so next one, that is gonna be Virgo. All right, Angela, have a great night. Uh, for Virgo, first one, we have the Nine of Pentacles, followed by the second card of the King of Cups. And the third one for you, Virgo, that is going to be the Six of Pentacles. Those three. So very similar situation when it comes to the offer, okay, with Virgo as well, just like with Leo, with Leo, with these three cards. The difference is it is that yours is going to be real, okay? So this is what you need to know, Virgo, that your way is coming a very tempting offer or a proposition that is going to skyrocket you. It's going to propel you forward like never before. What stands before you with this offering, whether for business interactions, whether for some kind of a project together, friendship, even intimate relationship, happens to be the leap into development, the leap into growth, the leap into leap into future thrive, so to speak. And it will feel so natural for you to take it because it will pretty much eclipse everything else that you do have as a option available. Now, the person which is going to come up to make you an offer, Virgo, that is someone who will do it very professionally, whether even if it is about business or even if it is about relationships, still it's going to be a professional offer. What I mean, it is that when that person kind of like lays it off, okay, um it's not going to be made like a wishful thinking. I don't know how to put it into words, but there is going to be a tangible goals out there. There is going to be graphs if it is about business. There is going to be a plans when it comes to friendships or even intimate relationship. But it's just that person will definitely know what they're talking about. They're going to be definitely, they will seem like, not like, but they will have that trait. They will know what they are gonna be talking about when they say, I want to be with you and this is what my plans are. These plans are gonna sound, and not just only sound, they are gonna be accomplishable within the reach. In fact, they will feel like they are the only natural development if you do say yes. Should you say yes? I don't want to make choices for you. What I will tell you, Virgo, from the other elemental dignity that we do have here, okay? These two, is that you are at the place where you are supposed to be, okay? Six of Pentacles, it is when the hierarchy is brought to bear and you are at the place where the hierarchy needs you to be. So what comes your way here, it's something which you are supposed to be a part of. So that is your message. All right, next one, Libra. And by the way, Jessica, thank you so much for your 6.99 Canadian. Make sure that you do stick around up until the end, where you're gonna get your personalized reading for what do you need to know as of this moment. Right. Libra. First one for you guys, Four of Swords, followed by the second card of that is the Six of Cups. And the third one for you, we do have Justice. Those three cards. I'm just gonna say to that comment, Karen, these people, they're not necessarily haters. It is just their expectations. Is that when they come for, you know, a general reading for a star sign, their expectation is that they are gonna get a personal one. Okay, that's all. That everything that the reader says about the star sign, whether it is an astrologer or a numerologist or an angel card reader, oracle reader, tarot reader, is going to relate to them personally. It's going to be about them, which is not the case. That doesn't necessarily has to be a hater. But in any case, Libra. So it's a quiet period coming your way. A period where, how can I put it into words? Things are going to be, and I'm going to use the words of the hater itself. Things are going to feel very generic. Okay, in a sense of performing or being a part of your job, or being a part as well of your family or of your friendship circle as well. Now with this Four of Swords and the Six of Cups, these are just the mundane activities. I can't even tell that they are chores. Okay, these are doing the same things over and over again, which pretty much bestows the calmness in the peaceful environment. And also you can expect that some aspects in your life are going to readjust. What I mean under that, it is that if something is going abnormally, right, whether the relationship in between you and a friend of yours or a family relationship, etc., etc., things should start getting back to their normal pace. That is because when the Four of Swords is into the prime of the reading itself, then problems that usually are at place, they kind of like disappear, they vaporize for reasons. Nobody can say what the reasons truly are, but just so you need to know that take these disappearances with a grain of salt, because these problems are going to come back to you, are going to be applied again further down the road, but not throughout the next few days to a few weeks as well. So the best way you can use that time, which is going to be very peaceful for you, Libra, is to trust your astute discernment. What is the right thing to do, because you're going to have that astute discernment. This comes from these couple of cards, the Four of Swords and Justice. Okay, these couple of cards, and they show that you're gonna have the knack to make the right choices and the right decisions, mainly related to how to manage your time, how to make your schedule, and as well it will be about consequences, you know, where if you do want to accomplish something, what will be needed to be done in order to do so. But something more specific into those cards, it's about if you do want to make a real results. Okay, whether you want to improve your health in a real way, or rather like in a noticeable way, whether you want to improve your business in a noticeable way, or whether you want to improve your relationship or a marriage in a noticeable way. Those cards are speaking that you got to seek professional help, like business consultant, personal trainer, physician, pediatrician, holistic doctor, business advisor, lawyer, etc., etc. So whatever you want to make a serious progress into, professional help, or rather like a professional guidance and advice, is going to be something that's, you know, it will work for you exponentially well in the next few weeks. For example, if you do want to learn astrology, yeah, doing it on your own, it's gonna get you there eventually. But if in the next few weeks you sign up for an astrology class, that is going to pretty much kind of like half your way through learning astrology, and it's going to take you a month or 2 months to learn that much of a information and understand astrology, as it would have taken you 3 years, for example, self-learning. That is just an example how these cards speak. The professional help exponentially is going to improve your state in the next few days to a few weeks. Well, Ginger, um, it's you gotta lean to that astute discernment I talked about. So you don't have to go to everyone. I mean, your issues that you do have, they are starting from somewhere, and you definitely know where they are starting from. Therefore, just fix that. It's because problems that one has, they are like a pyramid, right? With one focal point. If that focal point is destroyed, everything else crumbles down. So yeah, because think it that way. People usually have problems into their marriages or into their relationships, but these problems are mainly created not because people don't love each other or they don't want to be together. Money is the problem. Okay, for the most part, that is. So if you fix the money problem, that is going to fix your relationship problem, which is going to fix your social problems, and so on and so forth. So you gotta focus on the problem, which is the very source of all of your problems. And Libra, you guys are going to know what that is into the next few days. All right, Scorpio. First one for us, that is going to be the Five of Wands. Moving on next, we do have the Seven of Pentacles. And the next one is going to be the Page of Cups here. Those three cards. We definitely surprised someone, okay, with the way we behaved or what we said. It was totally unexpected. That is pretty much what we need to know. It is that this person was prepared for a certain development, and just that development didn't happen because the way they have anticipated our reaction to their action, it didn't happen. And that can be very clearly seen here into these couple of cards. Five of Wands and the Page of Cups. So literally, this is how the thing works out, and this is very common for the TV shows and the movies. Is when someone does a very sophisticated scheme to trap somebody else, right? Whether a psychological trap or physical trap, or a mental trap, verbal trap, whatever you call it. And it is just, you don't fall for the trap. In fact, you reverse the whole thing. So that person got trapped into their own game, or the way we like to call it here in my country, you throw their own stones upon their own heads, or you hail down their own stones into their own heads, whatever you like to call it. The thing it is that their anticipation that we are going to be cornered with our back against the wall, not being able to say anything but what they want us to say, or do anything but what they want us to do, backfired pretty badly. And now, instead of we being smothered beneath that toe, um, there is a turnaround, and in fact we do have the upper hand, probably without we even realizing it. Okay, very common here in between the Page of Cups and the Five of Wands. It is when you don't realize, in fact, how much of an advantage you do have over your boss or friend or competition, if you will, co-worker, person of interest for love, or a ex, for example. With these two cards, you get to say, do, and enforce whatever you like, and the other side pretty much is going to agree because they don't know what to do about it. Okay, the other way, if they don't agree, is just to lose future with you, with us, and I don't want to do that, at least not for the time being. It's just they're not ready to do that for the time being. Should you take advantage of all that? I don't think so, because it could backfire. Five of Wands, it's a very, very unstable card. It could go either way. There is a constant turnaround into the situation, and right now we are on the top of the world in regards to it. Tomorrow we can be in the deepest hells. So it will be best to address the situation with conscientiousness and with understanding as well, and just don't give a hard time to that person. This person is someone who is emotionally attached to you, to us. We very well know the individual. There could be more than one of these people, that are emotionally attached, but one of them, it's highly affected but what is going on in with the situation with us. And that is the message. We do have way big of an edge, way bigger of an edge than we think we have with them. And if we want something to happen in between us, we just have to say it. That's all that these cards are showing. Chandra, thank you so much for your $4.99 US. Thank you, Chandra. Make sure that you do stick around a little bit longer, where you're gonna get your personalized reading for what is that you need to know as of this moment. Thank you. And now we are entering into the second break of the live stream, and one of you is gonna get another free reading into this break. So all that you gotta do to get a free reading from me, guys, is input a question into the next 5 minutes into the comments down below, a question that you wish tarot to be read for. And after 5 minutes, should there be questions, I'm going to pick one of them and I'm going to perform a professional reading on that question. Other than that, if you do wish a personal reading with me, you can always go to my website, which you can find in the description down below. And there hold on a second, there at the very front page, you're gonna see full list of my services, and as well their pricing. And finally, for any of you guys who supports the channel and the stream through super chat, you're gonna get a reading at the end of the stream that's given. Well, Star Lover Tarot are not designed to check on on physical properties, meaning that if there is something wrong with you in terms of health, I wouldn't be able to say. Yeah, you are right, Pisces Moonbeam. Sometimes people just seek attention and provocation, you know, and they are kind of like taunting you straight away, which is something that I don't. I mean, it works on me, but not in a way that it makes an argument. It's just I make my points across, and if it is accepted, that's all right. If it doesn't, that's okay as well. I don't really care. And I need to refuel on coffee, guys. Hold on a second or a minute or two. I'm gonna come back to my. I'm gonna make myself a coffee. All right, back. Oh, Taco, welcome to the stream. We were wondering where you are. Um, all right, so let's check on the questions. All right, I like this one. It's an easy one to answer, and it allows me to showcase as well a technique I'm using to determine time. The question, will I meet someone new? It's a dollar. Let's check on the name again. Dollar Martin asks. So is Dollar going to meet someone new? Dog's going to eat you. Is the dog a big one? I have a phobia when it comes to dogs, especially big ones. Okay? It's just ever since I was small, I am afraid of dogs. Well, it's a nice energy, yeah. German Shepherd. I don't know how big that dog is at all. Oh, I know the dog. Oh my God, that is one of the most common here, or it was used to be a most common here in my country. By the middle of October, Dola, by the middle of October, you are going to meet someone new. Yes, those are your cards here. Okay. Eight of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, Queen of Wands, Knight of Swords at the end. So a few things I'm gonna tell you before I move to the next four readings. You gotta cash in on your presence. What I mean it is that you are closer, or rather like you are more closed to the outer world than you should be. That means that you gotta display yourself more into the society so you can have more options available when the time comes. Because when the middle of October comes, how many people, new people you get to choose from will depend entirely on you and how active you are into the social circle. What you need to know though, it is that as your question is formed, we do not talk about love. We talk about a physical attraction, and definitely there will be a lot of a physical attraction there. Can it transform into something more? Yeah, but at least at the start is going to be based on the whole interaction and attraction is going to be based on a physical appeal. So I don't know your situation right now and your conditions, but you can definitely make yourself known to more people through dating apps, through going out with a big social circle of friends, and so on and so forth. It's not gonna come on its own accord. That's my point. That person is not gonna knock on your door telling that the universe sent them to you, and while you are sitting all day on your couch or doing nothing different to attract someone, or rather like to get to meet someone new. All right, so that was your answer. Couple of minutes, and moving to the next four star signs. You're welcome, Dola. Yeah, well, Pisces Moonbeam, I do have a fear, especially from big dogs. Hello, Lisa. Welcome to the stream. John, yes, but they are not the best. They are not the best method to do so. Okay. Um, there is a technique that can do it. I do not know it though. Okay, so I do not know it. It's invented by Russians, and it's called the Matrix of Life, or this is how it's translated into my language, and basically examines, the consequences in this life from your past one. And it was performed to me once, and it turned out that in my past life I was murdered by a close person. That is how it came out. I don't know if it is true or not. I never made myself a regression, but maybe the regression is a way that you should go about your past lives. Tarot, just the traditional way of tarot, no, it's not a good way to, it's not designed to examine that. Although with some creativity, you may force them to do it, but it's not gonna be as whole as it should be. Well, Lisa, we are approaching Aquarius. Yeah, we are gonna check that one out. I'm looking forward to it as well. You're welcome, John. There is no point. Listen, guys, there is no point me. Oh, that's all right. I don't have to suffer it here, and I don't know if it's true. But the thing is that there is no point me saying that I can do it if I cannot do it, because that way, yeah, I'm gonna get your money once, but you are going to be dissatisfied, or I have to lie to you, right? I have to make the thing about this is the dangerous thing when it comes to past lives. You can't validate it. Okay, you can come to me about a past life reading and I can feed you with lies and nothing is gonna come out of it. I mean, you can't validate that what I am saying to you it's true or not. So if you go about it, you should do it with a proven method that is how it is, right? Or that it is working. I don't know how to explain it. But tarot definitely is not the way to do it, or at least I don't know a way how to make it work. Yeah, astrology as well can tell you some things. Numerology is very good in telling you about your past lives as well. Haldean numerology, to be more specific and more precise. But the astrology, I think it checks it out that I was in fact murdered in my last life. All right, Sagittarius, first one that is going to be the Death card, followed by the Two of Cups. Woohoo! And the third one, oh my God, that is going to be the Eight of Pentacles. I mean, thank God I do have a lot in Sagittarius. In fact, my moon is in Sagittarius, so this reading is in full swing for me. I don't even remember what the Scorpio reading was all about because it was kind of like insignificant in regards to this one as relation to me, that is. Okay, so those three cards, and it's transcension, right? It's about transcending an interaction or a relationship. That is what it is coming your way. This is what you need to know, that your current stage of a emotional interaction with literally anyone. It could be with anyone. It could be in between you and your child. It could be in between you and your suitor, you and your wife or a husband, or even your boss. But the thing it is that the emotional interaction as it is at this very moment, it's as far as it can get, and it needs to jump on the next level, literally on the next level. Okay, so maybe it's time that this game of cat and mouse with the person that you are interested in, it needs to stop, and you gotta now quench it. You know what I mean? Maybe now this how can I put it into words, this awkward interaction in between you and your colleague, that you like each other, it has to stop, and you have to pretty much decide what you're gonna do about it. Okay, maybe the interaction in between you and your child, that you do make it happy, that you do want to make your child happy, but you are uncertain how exactly, it has to stop, and you gotta make up your mind what you are gonna do about it. This is about cashing in on emotional flow, because the emotional flow is there and it needs to be manifested. It needs to be, like I said, reaped and consumed, if that makes sense. What do you need to know, Sagittarius? It is that what you have planned to be in terms of emotion, in terms of emotional interaction, what you have set it to be as an emotional interaction is going to be. Well, as these cards pretty much stand here, Sagittarius, some of the aspects that you are used to be a part of, they gotta go, and they will go away. And in under normal circumstances, this relinquishment, it could be a very difficult thing. This time around is not going to be a difficult thing. And just to give you an example how that may happen, I don't know, I'm not gonna give example with myself, but imagine you like smoking cigarettes, and suddenly you are to cash in on this emotional interaction with the person you want to be with, but you gotta quit smoking. Well, quitting smoking is not gonna be a problem for you. It's not gonna be even a compromise for you, because you would wish to quit smoking so you can be with that person. That is how pretty much it stands. But the bottom line for you, Sagittarius, of what you need to know, it is that the time had came. What you have worked toward, planned for, and wish for in terms of emotional development, it's due, and it's happening. It's there, and a new life for your emotions is about to set. So if you have been single up until this point, I don't think that you're gonna be single for much longer. Should have you been lonely for a long time, I don't think that you're gonna be lonely for much longer. Of course, like I said, I cannot make choices for you guys. You get to decide, do you want to give it a go or not? What do you need to know is it's coming down, and it is up to you to decide, do you want to take part of it or not? Do you want it to be a part of your life or not? Right, so that was Sagittarius. Now moving next, we do have Capricorn. First one for Capricorn, King of Wands, followed by the second one, oh my god, of the Queen of Wands. The final one, it's the Five of Swords. There is that person out there, and that person is around you who finds you very challenging, almost a match to them. They like it. It's a fetish. The more challenging you are, the more they like it. It's like that sweet pain one has. You know, when you get denied, it actually make you feel good. It makes you feel alive. And well, John, yeah, I mean, it's a challenging situation. That person is challenging. You are challenging to them. And if we align that situation to your, or rather like these cards to your, the more you fight with them, the more they like it. It's how it stands. But because we do have the Five of Swords there, it's who comes on top eventually, no matter what, right? So it's just this individual, it's not gonna stop being a part of the situation until they're totally annihilated, or you are totally annihilated. So it's a power struggle that we do have there. No one that wants to back off from their standpoints. Of course, this isn't a unreasonable situation. Yeah, well, this isn't an unreasonable situation, and I think that you do have the edge. Okay, you do have the edge. It all comes to that. Do you have the balls to use that edge? Because according to the cards, while the individual which is against you, very ambitious, indomitable, and how can I put it into words? It stays tall and strong. You know its weak points. You know its flaws, or his or her flaws, thy flaws. You know them. Are you gonna use them? It's up to you. If you don't want to use them, you will lose. But if you use them, it could be a bitter victory. So it is entirely up to you what you can handle as an outcome. Okay. Sometimes victory resides in a loss, so you can live to fight another day. Sometimes victory ain't worth it. What's the point, you know, getting on top of the argument if that person is gonna leave you for good, right? So it's a very fragile, not fragile, but a complicated situation. However, what you need to know is that for as much as the argument moves forward and it is not settled, that person is going to be a part of your life. So if you want to keep them a part of your life and you don't know how, according to these cards, just maintain the argument. That's all you need to do. Aside from that, what do you need to know in a more generic way, or rather like in a more pragmatic way, so to speak, is that your idea or ambition that you have right now, you are on the right track with it. Maybe you have an ambition to start your own business, or you may have an ambition to travel around the world. Whatever ambition you do have, you can make it happen. Okay, so that is what you need to know. It is not unaccomplishable. It may cost you a lot, but if you are determined to make it work, you can make it work. Yeah, Anna, that's sometimes that is how you have to play your cards. Yeah, it's a stalemate. All right, next one, Aquarius. First one for Aquarius, Nine of Pentacles. Moving on next, we do have the Two of Cups. And the next one is going to be the King of Pentacles. Wasn't that something similar for Sagittarius? Well, it's a great message for Aquarius because it simply it says that the love it's knocking on your door, whether you currently have it or not, it is knocking out there. And when I say it's knocking out there, should you have it right now, Aquarius, it means that it's going to grow exponentially, because according to these cards, there are going to be moves made which are going to invest into the lovely relationship you have. If you don't have currently a romantic interaction, then you can expect that someone into your environment would wish to invest into it. And that's the right word here, investment. Okay. What I mean, it is that there is a reason why that person wants to invest in you, their emotions in you, because for them, all that matters is, can it work out? Well, yeah. And in fact, according to these cards, it can work out beautifully. Okay. That's what you need to know. It is that could be the relationship you have ever wished for. And nothing more to be said here. Okay. That is literally your message. One warning though, should you decide to go along with it, okay, and allow that person to invest their emotions in you, they will expect the same. Okay, so you can't just expect from them to do that pouring in and not do anything from your behalf. And another thing I'd like to say here before I move on to Pisces, because it's a pretty clear message, there isn't much else to be said. It is that into your business environment, you can expect a very, very calm and peaceful time where, you know, whatever you're working on right now, it's gonna have a surprisingly good results. It's gonna give a surprisingly good results. So yeah, that was for Aquarius. It's a great read. And finally, we do have Pisces. It doesn't have to be equal, Karen. It is just it is expected to be given, you know, because the person who invests, they could need very little, okay, and it's expected from you to give them that very little. It's not gonna be unreasonable though. Right, Pisces. First one, we do have the 10 of Wands, followed by the Knights of Cups, and the final one, that is going to be the Ace of Cups. These three cards. Well, what do you need to know, Pisces? It is that the path to happiness doesn't have to be the hardest one out there. Bottom line about these cards, it is that it's not just only the other one, but also you. So you both are trying way too hard to be happy together or to be successful together, either way. So, and the whole thing, according to these cards, the whole thing, the whole pleasure, it melts away. So you can have a great experience working together. You can have great experience having a cup of coffee together. You can have a great experience making love together, or, you know, having a mutual life together. But all that's great experience, or the greatness in the experience, melts away into the rules which are bestowed, right? Into the expectations which are pretty much expected, into the how can I put it into words, into the foresight that it is unchangeable. My point here is that you just have to let it go and just enjoy the show, right? Live for the moment. It is what those cards are showing. So there isn't an individual here, according to these cards, that sees you as something they want. There is no question about that. It's just they don't know how to approach you about it, because you do have such a strict rules that they just can't see a gap, how to fit within those rules. And you know, if you do see that someone likes you and kind of like seeks your attention, but they never make a move, it is because of it, because they don't know how to make a move. They don't know what is that you are gonna like. They don't know how you will react. They don't know, are they good enough or not. So it's my point, it is that you have to become a little bit more carefree, because having that strict expectations and how can I put it into words, strict routine, at least for the time being, and these cards, it sucks away the fullness of life and the happiness you can have into the next few days, to the next few weeks. And if emotional satisfaction is what you seek, go for new things, because the old ones are just going to be a repetition, nothing else, nothing more. Or how can be summarized, it is that, guys, you're trying way too hard to be happy, that it seems that you are forgetting what happiness truly is and truly means. Because if you have to struggle to make yourself happy, what happiness gives you to struggle? None. So yeah, that's pretty much concludes the 12 star signs. And now the last free reading is going to be conducted. So if any of you guys wishes to have a free reading, you can input a question that you want me to read for into the comments down below. And in about 5 minutes, I'm going to pick one of these questions and I'm going to perform a professional reading on that question. And after that, the super chat readings are going to take place. So any of you who supports the channel and the stream and me and what I do through super chat, you're going to get a reading, guys, at the end of the stream that's given. And finally, if you do wish a personal reading with me, you can always go to my website, which you're going to find in the description down below. And there at the very front page, you're going to see full list of my services and as well their pricing. But yeah, just for all of you guys who missed the start, and you were probably wondering where I were for the past week and a half, maybe couple of weeks, there is a bit of a change into the content that's I'm gonna be doing for the channel. The videos are coming back, okay? Because that's the thing. At the start of this year, I decided that I do need a little bit of a break from the videos. The videos are taking a heavy toll on me. It's difficult to make them. It's just sitting there talking to myself without having anything or anybody to interact with. It's not the best environment I can work under, but it is something I gotta do. And so I decided to take a little bit of a break from them, but now I feel kind of ready to get back to the videos. And yeah, next week you can expect to have the first set of a weekly videos coming back to the channel. Yeah, Karen, that can be seen. A possible outcome based on your current choices. That can be seen. Well, it's not really a break, it is just the break from the videos. Everything else, and I compensated with one additional live stream. So now as the videos are coming back, instead of couple of live streams a week, unless there is some major and important transit, uh, I plan to have one live stream a week, 12 videos additionally with dailies rolling in as well, daily readings, because it seems dailies were some kind of an experiment and it seems that most of you guys like them, so I will keep up with them. That's and they're not that heavy on me. It's just it's okay doing dailies. It's just about the weeklies. There is a setup needed and it's and you know, when they gotta be professional in a sense that I should not stutter, kind of like try to find my words and all these kind of stuff, and that takes a lot of pressure. That puts a lot of pressure. Well, it is, but it's as much as I can handle, so I will see how long I will be able to handle that. Yeah, well, thank you guys. All right, so no requests for free readings. Then we are moving to the super chat. Let me shuffle and I'm gonna draw for the super chat. Anna and JT, your readings are gonna be done at the end, okay? Right, so let's check out what do I need to know thanks to Karen. This reading for me is brought from Karen. Knight of Pentacles, it is my card of what do I need to know. And according to the cards, my plans for the future are tangible, accomplishable, and rather simple to get to. And the card is a confirmation that what I want, it's the not the best thing, but how can I put it into words? One of the most satisfying things I can have of what I want. I don't know how to explain. Well, I know that answer. So yeah. Next one, that is going to be Pisces Moonbeam. Your question. Let me check it out again. Of the way you worded it, that's the card, and it is the former rather than the latter of your options that you gave. Next one, second. Karen? We have the 10 of wands, and what do you need to know, Karen, with this card? It is that a lot of expectations are ahead, in a sense of that you are expected to behave, perform, and attend, and you can't wriggle yourself out of it. It's just it has to be the way it is set up to be. But what do you need to know? It is that yeah, first, former means first. But what you need to know is that if you comply to everything, you are going to be rewarded at the end with results. Liz, your card is Judgment with the 3 of Swords, like that. And what you need to know, Liz, it is that it seems that there will be a correctional situation. Under correctional, I mean a repetition, which time where you will have the chance to make it right. This is what you need to know. So if I give you an example, if I have to give you an example here, the most easier example is with exes, okay, where the previous relationship failed, but you now have a second chance on that relationship to make it work. So you will have a second chance where you can make it work, and it is important that you do not make your conclusions based on the first failed performance, but instead take it like a brand new situation, that you are more experienced into it, more knowledgeable, as well, more accustomed, and this time around you can do it right. Mattia, you do have the Knight of Swords with the King of Wands, then it is the Sun card, okay, those 3, and definitely we're talking about the person, Mattia, that has a lot of ambitions when it comes to you, in a sense of moving forward. I don't know what about. It could be about business, or it could be about simple friendship. It is just the Sun card. It kind of shows that together, naturally, you can accomplish great stuff. Okay. For example, go for a monetary gains. For example, go for a beautiful friendship, or why not for a very, very good relationship. And for that person, it all makes sense. This isn't just a hunch. It's not an intuition. It's not a how can I put it into words? It's not a yearning. It is just, it makes sense to them to either make business with you, or to be your friend, to be your lover, for example. How do you recognize this one? Well, they make, how can I put it into words? Well, with their actions, more or less, they make you happy, and as well, they like to, they know how to enjoy life as well. So they have a lavish lifestyle, let's put it that way. Jessica, Queen of Pentacles for you, Jessica, with the Two of Pentacles. So these two cards for you. Also a person, what you need to know is that there is a person around you who is not convinced that you are done. And according to them, they think that there should be not a change of scenery, but a change of a point of view. So a potentials you do have in between you two, whether in business or whether in career, or whether in love, are heretofore unexplored. So you can expect that this person to approach you and to say, you know, we gotta try it in a different way this time around. The idea is good, the execution not that good, and we gotta try a different execution. It's just that person sees, like I said, that just you haven't developed as best as you could, and you should try again. Chandra, Seven of Cups with the Two of Wands, those couple of cards. So what do you need to know, Chandra? It is that there are some unrealistic, probably, deadlines, and it's not even an expectations, it's more like a foresight. Like you think that you know, something is gonna happen with ease, but actually it's way more sophisticated and complex that you see it for. So what is important here, Chandra, it is that you are grounded about your expectations and about your growth and your approach to the situations in your life. It's very important that you take a small, really small, petite, tiny steps forward, checking and revisiting every detail about the situations you are in, because you may end up being blindsided by the circumstances. In fact, that is a very possible thing to happen to you, and that is going to disappoint you big time. Okay, so most likely, if you hear some kind of an information and you think that's bullshit, it is bullshit. Okay, so believe your instincts, believe your guts, and above everything else, believe what you know to be true. Right, so next one, that is going to be Anna. All right, Anna, those are your cards here. Three of Wands with the Devil card, with the Page of Wands, and the final one, this is going to be the Ten of Cups. So Anna, what do you need to know? It is that right now you are sitting on well-established patterns, so keep on doing what you are doing is what those cards are showing up, or they are trying to tell you, because what you are doing is gonna very soon open up for a lot of new enterprises, and it is best at that point, okay, to be open for everything new. Another thing that these cards are trying to warn you, for the most part, it is that you should be very careful when you are tempted, let's put it that way, because the temptation definitely is going to be there, but it will go outside of the patterns you are establishing. No different than, because I know your situation, no different than being offered a different job outside of the business where you are trying to establish, and that job to be very appealing, okay, and so you're finding it difficult to decline it. According to the cards, you should, because like I said, you are on the right track with what you're doing, and definitely the growth is there in the future. And in fact, within the next 6 months to 1 year, you are going to find yourself being very happy where how you set, how you have established your things around and your foundations around. I do believe that we're talking more about business than anything else. And the last one, this is going to be JT. Your first card, JT, that is going to be the Queen of Cups, followed by the Nine of Pentacles. Moving on next, we do have the Nine of Cups. And the final one, that is going to be the Five of Pentacles. Huh. All right, so JT, what do you need to know? It is that you are way too open for the people around you. You are way too giving, to a point where your selflessness is taking away from you without replenishing. That's what the point of these cards is. And so what do you need to know? It is that right now it's a moment where you have to take care of yourself rather than taking care for others first, because if you don't take care for yourself, later down the road there will be no one to take care of those that you are taking care right now. And it is all about a lifestyle change. And so that is what you need to know, that within the next 6 months to 1 year, you are going to undergo that lifestyle change where you're going to find a balance, how you can take care for those you love while you take care for yourself as well, without emotionally and materially and as well passionately burn out and not having anything to hang into. Other thing that you need to know, it is that for the next 6 months to 1 year, it is highly likely that your job and your career development is going to be as steady as possible, and you are going to feel, or rather like, yeah, you are going to feel a great satisfaction and content of how your career is developing, if you do have career, that is. And finally, it's highly unlikely within the next 6 months to 1 year to be in a severe emotional distress. And that's pretty much it is. This is going to conclude the live stream for tonight. Thank you so much for all participating, and for all of you watching, thank you so much for your generosity as well. And we are gonna see each other very, very soon. Till then, bye.